seen that movie Split? Yeah, that whole movie is based on this thing called DID. Except I don't wear dresses, I don't talk differently. It's me, it's just fragmented pieces of me that were put into place when I was a young child and somehow abused or put into trauma. I yet don't know what that trauma was. I really don't want to find out. But it could be like Herschel Walker, who suffers from this. It could have been he was bullied and picked on as a child. I know I was bullied and picked on. Funny thing is, I didn't realize why I don't remember much of my childhood, because DID, when you get kicked out to take away the pain and put in a happy spot, your other parts of your emotional personalities come in and take care of you to protect you. And then you had amnesia because it locks you away in a box and doesn't want you to remember. So, and I just had a little talk with one of our other guests that our system is very broken.
Yes.
So, I know why people try to do it. I was in that boat. I know if they failed to do it, why they tried again. And that time in between whereby you could be helped, you're not, because it took 12 months waiting list to get to a psychiatric doctor to try and help me that didn't believe me in the first place. Oh, and then when they get into the hospital, you get medicated to flatline you, and then you get released back into the world because you're fine. Actually, I got released from hospital after slitting my throat because I was medically able to leave. But I got released because I was medically able to leave, not put into a place to say, hey, maybe we should check Mark out and see if he's okay. No. So, I understand some people and what they go through. I also understand that if you have people that are a little bit quiet and maybe don't reach out, you know, hey, how are you going? Check in once in a while. Definitely can help, because you have no idea what someone's going through until you ask. And quite frankly, I never wanted to tell anybody, so I was living a lie. So I think there's only one person other than Gord I know, Mark. We met before. For 5 years I've lived a lie. I told stories of what happened. I told them to my children. I told them to people I know. Right? Great thing is nobody's ever challenged me on that story, but I was living a lie. And stuck in a spot where I didn't want to do anything. So what did I have to do? I had to realize that yes, I did do this. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I felt inferior. But when I was stripped down to nothing, because I lost my home, all the money, I was homeless at 44 with 3 kids and a wife that didn't work. Right? 3 minutes after I slit my throat, she got hired by the Peel Board of Ed as an EC. Kind of interesting. The paramedics, 20-year veterans. The doctor that, when he got the pulse back into me, oh yeah, because when you hit your jugular and you knock yourself out, your heart rate slows down. That was probably why I didn't fully disappear. I got to hospital with the faint pulse, and a cardiovascular surgeon was the gentleman on call that day. And his partner was the guy that does tracheotomies. So he was able to take the big pen that was stuck in my throat out and put a proper one in, because the paramedic, that's what he did. Because if you hit your voice box, it swells to protect itself, and what does it do? It closes off your esophagus and you can't breathe. So the thing that's trying to help your voice be a voice kills you. So it's kind of fun. I can only say that now because I'm here. But what I can say is I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done what I did. And having gone through it, this is where the other sort of problems come up that people don't know about. See, if I was gone, I wouldn't have seen the hurt in my family. I wouldn't have seen the trauma that we have lived. I wouldn't have seen or heard a psychiatrist at a hospital, I won't name names, but Brampton Civic Hospital, whose department doesn't believe in it, that the psychiatrist told my wife he's a narcissistic asshole and you should leave him and go with your children and run away. There's a huge problem with our system. It fails us. And those are the professionals that have dealt with it and do the work. I commend them. Because I'm 5 years later, and the only reason I'm here is because my wife stuck with me, because we had a flat line of normalcy. And it was like a lie detector test. Like, Mark's not normal. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, my brother-in-law's, my brother-in-law, a police officer that said he's all full of shit. I deal with this every single day. I don't believe him. I actually got everybody in our family to hate me. So what I learned is anybody that's toxic in my life, I cleared them out. I was left with the people under my roof. I hadn't talked to my mother-in-law for 3.5 years until very, very recently. Because she had enough information given to her where she finally think, oh, this makes sense. Yes, he wasn't right. I should have maybe listened or believed, but I didn't. But now she did, and she's grateful, and so am I. But I surround myself with the people that are going to either impact me in a positive way, move me forward, and if you don't move me forward, I need to stay where I am so I can move forward even faster the next moment I get to move. But if you move me backwards, I don't want you around.
That's good.
Now, whether you believe it or not, there's a thing called the universe. There's the Napoleon Hills out there that discovered that there is this wonderful thing called the laws of attraction and the laws of the universe. And if you give it out, it comes back. If it's positive, it's called everything. If it's negative, it's called karma. Karma can be a real bitch. I know, because I got to pay for it multiple times. See, I shouldn't have done this, and my wife knew it, so as I was about to release, I had a kidney surgery emergency because my kidney was going to rupture because I had a big stone lodged in there. Right? That's karma for what I did. Right? I started going forward, and what I do, I tried to do it again, because that DID, these personalities, they were meant to protect me. And when they were meant to protect me and they pushed me in one direction, it was because they had a plan of what I was supposed to do. Well, the funny thing is that one part of my personality has tried to let me go 4 times. My heart stopped, my lungs collapsed, I cut myself, and I overdosed on some medication. None of which I chose to do. Except the first one. I think I chose to do it, but then I stopped. Oh, Mark, you don't have balls. You got to keep going, so I'm going to help you. I'll force you to take a bottle of wine or whiskey, and then that will compel you to do what I want. Because I'm there to help you. Right? So, how do we do it? Thank God every day for my wife and children. Because they've been by my side the whole time when other people weren't. 20-year friend relationships gone. I couldn't deal with it. Friends, colleagues, coworkers, gone. Couldn't deal with it. Because they might have to have done something. But yet they were the ones that we did everything for. But when it was our turn, they weren't there. The system that didn't help. So what I've actually found is a doctor that says, well, I can help you, but I know nothing about it, don't believe in it, and I've never had to personally deal with it myself, so are you taking your medication? Oh, the one that wanted to help me, number 1 side effect is suicidal tendencies and thoughts? Mm-hmm. To help me? No. Are you keeping busy? Yes, staying alive every single day. It's a hard job some days. Some days I don't want to get up. Now, I listened to a great speech. If you ever listened to it, Navy SEAL Admiral gave a closing speech to a graduating class. Search, make my bed. And here's what I learned. There was days I didn't want to get out of bed. And when I didn't want to get out of bed, I wanted to stay there for days and days and days. But what I learned was, and what he said was, you get out of bed and you make your bed. And you make your bed with the precision it can be done, so that it's perfect. Because no matter what happens to your day, you can always go home and be reassured that you were successful with a goal obtained to start your day. You can go back home and look at your bed and say, I made my bed. The rest of my day was shit, but I made my bed. I feel good about myself. And if you did a really good job all day long, you can high-five yourself and go, damn, that's a good bed. I need to go there and sleep because I got to get up the next day and put my feet on the ground and run. Thank you for listening.